It's been a dry start to the water year so far. We are about to open that storm door, though. Multiple systems in the pipeline throughout the Pacific, tracking each one and the impacts they will bring. So the first one starting to approach right now, as you can see with our timeline, Tuesday into Wednesday. That's when we're going to see the biggest impacts: rain, snow, and wind for our Tuesday. Snow levels starting off roughly at 4,000 to 6,000 feet. Now Wednesday, that snow level in the morning drops to 3,500 feet. This is going to set the stage for some very cold conditions on Thursday, with patchy morning frost throughout the valley, lows in the 30s. And then over the weekend, we've got more rain and snow in store. What a great start to November. We need every drop of this rain and snow. You can see up top for this year a winter storm warning in place that will start up at noon. Will take us through Wednesday, and for the Tahoe Basin through some of the lower elevations, a winter weather advisory. All locations expecting snow, difficult travel, and some hazards in the Sierra. Near whiteout conditions for the Sierra travel. Major travel delays, road closures possible, chain controls. Bottom line there, travel is highly discouraged over the next 24 hours. Also a slight risk of thunderstorms. This is going to be through the central and northern part of the Sacramento Valley and over towards the coast, with the main impacts being heavy rain, lightning a possibility, as well as some gusty winds and some small hail. We'll track that throughout our Tuesday. As far as the rainfall totals, we are rounding out the month of October with no rain in the bucket. Average is about 3/4 of an inch. Now, last year, if you remember, we got that huge atmospheric river, extreme atmospheric river that came through towards the end of October, dropped about 6 3/4 inches of rain, gave us a great start to the water year. But again, that was just one storm. It was a complete whiplash through the year with very little rain falling in November. December was a really good month for us, and then the water faucet basically shut off. We saw one of the driest January, February, and Marches on record, and you can see those are typically our wettest months. So we're just now starting to increase that chance of precipitation coming through after several months of dry weather. This certainly is setting the stage for a good November here. We are in need, like I said, of that rain. Basically, since October 1st, the beginning of the water year, almost all of us barely recording any rain, and that's already putting us at a deficit coming off of 3 years of drought. This is not the water year start that we necessarily wanted to see. It's early in the game, plenty of time to increase those totals. We have plenty of capacity as well for the reservoirs. We basically hit our low for the season. We're at 58% of average for Shasta, 31% full. Oroville, very similar conditions as is Folsom. It's a much smaller reservoir, so it's going to fluctuate a little bit more. New Melones and Don Pedro, as we start to head through the Central Valley, we're at 45% of average for New Melones. Right now, it's only 24% full. Don Pedro, one of the better situations there at 75% of historical average and 49% full. For Day of the Dead, we are going to look at some rain showers moving in. We'll start the morning off with very dry conditions, but then the rain showers move through right around noon. By 4 p.m. starting to clear. This is a fast-moving system, but it is going to bring with it some gusty winds as well. Right around noon, when that cold front approaches, you can see how those winds will start to kick up close to 15 to 25 miles per hour over the Sierra. Those wind gusts will be closer to 50 to 65 miles per hour. So when you consider we've got snow falling, gusty winds like that, icy conditions, that's why travel not recommended in the high country. We've been under this ridge of high pressure for several days now. Highs over the weekend were close to 80, and now such a drastic change. Here comes this low driving its way in from the Pacific. Here comes the rain overnight tonight. It will start to approach the coast, but we're basically looking at, outside of a few sprinkles here and there, a dry morning commute for the valley, the foothills, and the Sierra, except when we start to head through the central part of the valley. That's where we'll first start to see those showers and over towards the coast. Now, again, fast-moving system. Band of rain moves through. Right about noontime is when we expect the heaviest rain to start falling in the valley. Snow will start picking up in the Sierra. Snow will be a little bit longer to linger here for the high country all the way through Yosemite, Kirkwood, Bear Valley, getting really good amounts of snow coming in. But the valley, you can see for the evening commute, already starting to dry out. Some spotty showers overnight, but Wednesday is mostly a dry day outside of a few sprinkles here and there. This year, we're not done with snow yet. It returns during the middle of the day on Wednesday, and then we'll finally start to clear out Wednesday evening, giving us a break. And there's more in store for the weekend. Totals with this first round of rain come in at about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch, closer to about an inch for the foothills. But then that snow line is going to be dropping down to about 3,500 feet, where we'll see just a light dusting, but a little bit higher up, we'll pick up about 2 inches of snow. Up towards the Tahoe Basin, it's about 6 to 5+ inches of snow. And again, just a little strip in there with about 1 foot or so of snow. Many of those passes will be seeing the snow pile up through the day. Change very likely with those travel delays. The end of October also signals a change in our air quality seasons. We're going to go from spare the air season, where we track the main pollutant being ozone, to our check before you burn season. That's when we have some of those burn restrictions in place due to PM 2.5, the smoke coming from our wood burning appliances like our wood burning stoves or our fireplaces. It's just that the weather conditions really prohibit a lot of that dispersing, and that smoke tends to stick really close to the surface. So that begins November 1st. We'll be tracking it, letting you know when burning is not allowed in the valley. We've got a great lineup of storm, folks. Yeah, this is all going to continue as we head into our weekend forecast, with periods of breaks in there, just enough to perhaps rake up those leaves, clear out the storm drains, get ready for that next line of storms, which will hit over the weekend, which also happens to be time to fall back. We get an extra hour of sleep come Saturday into early Sunday, and I'll tell you, the weather being cold and rainy is the perfect opportunity to catch some extra Z's this weekend.